Hey guys, Erin with the Inspired by Weekly Challenge, week 22. This week we have this gorgeous layout brought to you from Kate Palmer over at Sparkle Tart. If you want to see her original video, I will put the link down in the description box below. Be sure to check it out and give her some love. Anyways, we are going to start by taping off our journal page with some Dina Wakley media tape, and then we're going to slap down some matte medium, and while that's wet, we're going to spray on some Lindy sprays. Now, if you go peep out Kate's video, you'll see these are all this kind of steps that she does. Easy peasy. Usually I just am inspired by what they do, but this week I thought I want to kind of recreate this a little bit, so that's what I did. And I'm going to mush it around, dry, and then I thought, hey, I have this deli paper, let's just squish it up and give the page a little bit of texture. So that's what I did. And then I'm going to drop on some dribbles of the Liquitex ink in muted green and just kind of run it all over. And then use that deli paper again and smush it about. And then dry it again. And I dabbed a little bit of paint around the sides too. Then just dry it. And then we're going to take a couple of paints here. I use some gorgeous colors, and again, I will put everything that I use down in the description box below. Some gorgeous colors from the Alchemy Metallique line, and so I'm just watering them down so that way they're not too, they kind of mesh in with the other paints that are already there. And just to, accentuate a couple little areas of the page. So if you're new to my channel, you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is this Inspi By Challenge? Well, the Inspired by Art Journaling Challenge is a weekly challenge that I host over on Instagram along with my buddy Karen, and we feature a different artist each week, one that we feel inspires us in some way, or perhaps they're doing a technique that we have yet to try and we want to test it out. So anyways, we run this challenge. It lasts a week. When you're done, you just post pictures of it on Instagram so we can follow you and be like, woohoo, and we're all learning together. It's super fun. So if you want more information about that, check out my blog, happillywego.com. So I finished up the page here, I'm drying it off, and then I heated the back of the page because while this is a watercolor book, the pages were starting to buckle a little bit with all of the water. So that's what I did, and now I'm just spraying the same Lindy's colors that I used on the opposite page on this one and just kind of keeping it a little bit loose. I went back and did an extra spray because I dabbed it off and then I just didn't feel like it was vibrant enough, so I'm just refilling in some of those colors. And then check it out, yay, I found the spray bottle that actually works. Woohoo! So then I'm just going to go ahead and dry it up, mop up a little bit of it because it was pretty wet, and then just dry. So now we're going to take this gorgeous stamp set from Concord and Ninth, the Wildflower stamp set, and we're going to use some of the Brutus Monroe Pigment ink in Alabaster and stamp these beauties on there. Now, when Kate did her layout, she hand doodled all of her designs, and I'm just not super confident with my hand doodling yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So stamping for me is just like second nature. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stamp them on there, and then a couple of the leaves that match along with the set as well. Now, one of the hard things when you're using a spiral book is to remember that you have to position your stamp on the block so it's not going to overlap where the spirals are, or you're not going to get a good stamped image. So now I'm going to actually do a little doodling. After I said I wouldn't do it, I went ahead and drew on some leaves just because I felt like the space needed something more. So that's what I'm doing here. And then, whoops, as you see, my hand smudged over the stamped image there. Now, the Brutus Monroe ink, the cool thing about it is it takes a little while to dry. So, well, I don't know if it's all his inks, but I know at least with this white one. So you can just rub it off and then re-stamp it, and nobody knows any better. And then go ahead and make sure that you do dry when you're finally finished with your design. So now I'm going to take some of the heavy body gesso from Art Alchemy, the Finnabar products, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole page. And as you can see, it wasn't very dark, so I went over it a second time. And as you can see, the second layer still wasn't that dark. So now I'm going to grab some Payne's Gray from Golden Heavy Body Acrylics, and I'm going to go over just some of the areas and then blend it with that gesso again. just to kind of darken it up a bit. And there's just something pretty about Payne's Gray. I don't know what it is. It's like this deep bluish but gray, but I don't know. It's really pretty. So I'm going to blend all of that out, and then I will also, you'll see in a little bit, bring in some of that orange Metallique that was watered down and add that in too. But I'll go ahead and throw on some music and let you watch me paint. The beauty of technology. You can speed it all up. The whole process of this double layout took me about 1 hour and 20 minutes, but it is sped up for you. So now I'm going to take my Sharpie paint pen in white and I'm going to outline the leaves. And they were so small, it was a little bit hard to not paint over them. So some of them did lose a little bit of the bright colored detail, but I still don't think it looks all that bad. So I'm all good with it. So truth be told, while I was doodling on here, I kept thinking, I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out. It had the washi tape around it, so it's kind of deceiving because it, it looks a totally different way. So anyways, I was rolling with it. I was, doing my leaves, and then I decided I wanted to add some cute little curly cues at the end of my leaves. Give them, just for fun. And it just looked blah, so then I decided to take my black Sharpie paint pen and go over all of the flowers. And as you can see, I painted over those little stamen. And that takes 2 seconds to draw them in, and nobody knows the difference of those either. As you can see, I'm just drawing in those black lines super fast. At first, I was trying to stay on top of where the white line was, but then that was just proven too difficult. So I was like, whatever, just draw them on there. And I kind of like the way it looks. You have the white and the black lines on there. It's like a little bit of hinting of shadow. So I was rolling with it. So in case you guys are wondering, because I'm sure somebody is going to ask me, this is a Stillman and Berns Zeta series watercolor journal. I got it off of Amazon. I think it's like a 7x7 square, but I really like the pages of it. They mostly hold a lot of water, although some of them seem to buckle a little bit, but I like it. So anyways, there. So we had that done, and now I'm going to take this Storybook alphabet stamp from Stampendous, and I'm going to go ahead and do my little sentiment over here on the left page. So I was stamping the letters using the Versafine Onyx black ink, and I was just cruising along, all excited. It was getting done, and then this happened. What? Mother of pearl. I spelled it wrong. I was so mad. But don't fret, because you know what? I just took some of that, the Payne's Gray, and I just watered it down and then covered over the word, dried it good, and then I brought back that Brutus Monroe white ink and I went over the top of it to respell it out. And you know what? I didn't even stress. I was like so proud of myself. Like, I got this. Check it out. You can't even tell. So then I just went ahead and finished the rest of my sentiment. So I had the song Closing Time from Semisonic stuck in my head for weeks now. I don't even know why, but I did. So anyways, that's what I've decided to use as my sentiment. And tell me this, do you guys ever feel like when I'm watching people stamp things out in videos, I feel like it's like Wheel of Fortune and I'm trying to guess what they're stamping out before they finish it. So let me know down in the comment box if you guessed what I was stamping out before I finished it. So to end it, I wanted to match the white of beginning so it just didn't look like it was stuck. So I did the Payne's Gray again, and then I stamped my final word in the Alabaster paint from Brutus Monroe, and then just darkened it a little bit with the Payne's Gray again because I just still felt like it wasn't dark enough. And the sentiment is done, but not for Erin because I love bright whites, so I had to go back over all of the white stamped letters with the Sharpie paint pen to brighten them up a bit more. And I did flip my book so that way I wouldn't smudge the letters with my hand. And then I dried it. And I took my Faber-Castell Pitt pen in, I think it's medium point, and I outlined all of the letters, just the white ones. And then I added a period because, you know, every sentence ends with punctuation. So now it's time to peel off the tape. I was stressing out. Oh my gosh, I was afraid it was not going to come up. It actually pulled up beautifully. I think there's just that one part right there that it kind of pulled some of the paint with it. But it was pretty exciting. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the end. And it turned out awesome. I'm pretty proud. So there you guys, that is the finished product. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check back again next week for another Inspi Buy challenge, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.